Welcome to the Half Done Hobbyist. I hope you all had a good new year and you've managed to get some hobby stuff done. I've been having a lot of fun building and painting my Necromantic Horror Blood Bowl team, the Harkenhall Hornets. This tutorial is only about painting the Flesh Golem skin, but if you want a wee bit of inspiration on a colour scheme to use for your own Necromantic Horror team, then I'll be following that up with a wee tutorial very soon. Now, this is very basic. As usual, not going to win any Golden Demon awards, but I do think it's quite effective, so I hope you enjoy it. I've had this paint scheme in my head for a while, I just didn't know how to achieve it, but over the holidays I've been trying a few things and I think I've cracked it. So all I'm doing is starting off with Deepkin Flesh, just painting it all over the skin, leaving no gaps at all. Now this doesn't cover that well, so you need to use a couple of coats. These Flesh Golem models are great, they're full of character and I just loved painting them. Just make sure you get smooth brush strokes, thin paint, and you just get full coverage. If there's any wee bits that are looking patchy, just go over them with another thin coat and you should be fine. Make sure you get all the bits of skin because there's a lot hiding. I missed an entire leg the first time I did it. So there's that wee bit of arm where you just need to get your brush into. Just make sure it's all covered. That, the elbow, the inside of the forearm and the hand is all to be flesh coloured. And here I am painting up the alternative head as well, the one with the brain on top. Now here, this is Ghost Blaster Green, really thinned down to almost water, and I'm just spreading it all over the skin. That's basically the wash for the whole thing. And for the brain, I'm just painting in pink horror into all the brainy bits. This paint scheme that I've got for the brain looked really effective, I think. So just get it all in there. Already looks a bit brainy, doesn't it? For the scars, and a lot of people use Carroburg Crimson for this, and there's no problem with doing that, but all I did was thin down Screamer Pink with lots and lots of water, and then just fill in all the scars with this, so it just flows right into the scar. There's a nice crevice that you can just run the thin tip of your brush into, and it just looks great. And the best thing about it is it doesn't matter if you spill over the sides because it just looks like bruising. The reason I didn't put a lot of bruising on this guy overall was because I figured he was already dead before he got stitched together. I don't think that would leave bruising at all. So that's why I did that. I also filled in the mouth with Screamer Pink. This isn't a face tutorial, so I've not put much effort into the face. Just the skin, the scars, that kind of thing. And there's little stitches which you have to block in with Screamer Pink as well. Very thin Screamer Pink, so it covers the stitches and goes into the crevices around the stitches as well. So after we've done the scars, grab your Deepkin Flesh again and just layer it over the top, just leaving the Ghost Blaster Green in the recesses. Just very thin, so it just blends in a wee bit with the Ghost Blaster that you've put on the large areas like the pectorals and things like that. And make sure you just get a layer of Deepkin Flesh back on all the main muscle areas. Doesn't take long, just go for it. And with this, I've just grabbed Corax White and I'm just giving it a little edge highlight. in some bigger areas I did a layer of Corax white, which seemed to work as well. So don't be afraid to try different things, and the skin's already looking good, in my opinion. So we're almost there. And then just do the same on the alternative head. Obviously you'd only have one head at a time. And that looks just as good. Now for the brain, a wee wash of Drucci Violet all over it. And then we're back onto the scars, and we'll do a little coat of Rakarth flesh over all the scars. This might take a couple of coats to cover over the Screamer Pink, but just make sure you've got a fully opaque layer of Rakarth flesh on the stitches. This stage takes a little while, but it's one of the things that makes the paint scheme really effective if the stitches stand out a lot from the scars. So take your time and be brave. I really enjoyed painting this guy. There's so much detail, there's so much to do on it. Without that much effort, I think he looks really good. So there's the scars there, looking fantastic. Grab really thinned down Screamer Pink again and just put it into all the bits where it looks like this skin might be irritated, like where the armour joins the skin, that kind of thing. Or where a rope goes across his leg, or where these metal panels or wooden panels are bolted directly into his flesh. So just put a wee layer of Screamer Pink around there, and as you can see, it looks really good. Now what we're doing here is going over the Rakarth flesh with a little highlight of Pallid Witch flesh. So it doesn't matter how much of it you cover, just as long as you hit the stitch. And it brings the stitches out just that little bit more. And then grab a Athonian Camo shade for his toenails. And just make sure you get all his toenails and his fingernails with the Athonian Camo shade, so it looks like he's got really dirty green horrible fingernails. So if you're doing this bit, make sure you put Pink Horror on first, and then all you do is mix Pink Horror with Corax White and start picking out the highlights on the brain. So there's a little comparison of one I did earlier, and the other one's going to get the same treatment. So there you go, easy Flesh Golems. Just add your own colour scheme for your own team and you're just about ready to go. If you would like to see more of my painting tutorials, 3D modelling tutorials, 3D printing tutorials, anything like that, just like and subscribe and hit the wee bell button for an alert. I'll be releasing one on my Harkenhall Hornets very soon, so I hope you tune in for that. As usual, thanks for watching and I will see you very soon.